This is Bradford Donald Keller Townsend, and this is a Forward Research Report Monday, October 15th, 2018. Today, I'm going to talk about the big lie number 2, le grand message numéro 2, le grosse lüge numéro 2, la grande mentira numéro 2. Bloomberg, media conglomerate, um, the Financial Times, CNBC, the Wall Street Journal, Fox Business, New York Times Business Section, Vanguard Mutual Funds and ETFs, Charles Schwab Banking, Trading, and Insurance, Stuart Varney on the Fox Business Channel, just trying to name literal names. They all put out the big lie number 2, le grand message numéro 2, which is that you can have infinite growth on a finite planet. And I mean by growth, material growth. That's more cars, more air conditioners, more forklifts, and moving around more goods inside of more warehouses, more container ships being loaded and unloaded, and those are filled with actual intrinsic tangent things that you can touch, whether they be video game console boxes or boots for the winter, waterproof, higher knee-high rubber boots that you can wear to muck around your farm. The big lie is put out by people that in the industry are seen to be more benevolent, like Charles Schwab. Stuart Varney, and I didn't quote him exactly, is that higher oil prices would be positive for Tesla and the other electric car makers, as all of them, BMW, Volkswagen, General Motors, Nissan, Peugeot, Renault. Of course, Toyota's been in the hybrid market now for over a decade. That is a big lie using a mathematical proof technique called mathematical inference. Now, in mathematics, you can have Sherlock Holmes talking to Dr. Watson, the physician, who was the Afghan war veteran, which is kind of ironic nowadays, as now there are many Afghanistan war veterans in England now, and in particular London, probably working. He was an army physician. That's who Dr. Watson was, and he would use his powers of deduction as the man who wrote Sherlock Holmes. I don't think graduated from high school and didn't learn more math than deduction. But inference, mathematically, is where you look for general rules that go out into nature beyond simple deduction. It's dangerous and considered weaker. If you're looking at a chart of data, you would extrapolate where you're saying, well, this trend is going like this. Usually momentum, mass times the velocity, is going to continue. So if generally if the economy and things are going well, it's natural to think that the near future and even the intermediate future is going to continue the way it is. If you're in an economic depression, it's natural to think that whatever trends of decline and contraction of the economy or stagnation of the economy with much lower employment levels will continue. The Vanguard Fund on their website page says no conflict of interest. Bradford Donald Keller Townsend at Forward Research, as you know, has no ads introing in the middle or out of shows, and I do not have a Patreon page, and I am not asking for any donations. I am currently retired and receive pension income, and am fortunate to be from a wealthy family, and am financially independent from a variety of investments, real estate, and stocks and bonds, which wasn't my choice, as I don't have control, over all of the investing, as it's in trust fund type things. So I'm independent. I have worked for the largest financial institution in the world and the Federal Reserve, um, it, indirectly, or been the boss of the Federal Reserve and told them what to do. But I am. But right now, I hold no position. I am not an executive with any company, and I can, even though I have all this experience dealing with the Federal Reserve and trillion-dollar financial institutions, and have created millions and billions of dollars of new money, and injected it into the financial system. I am right now retired, and have no legal or moral, ethical mores even to be broken. My loyalty and allegiance is just to the public in general, both the Americans first, and all people in the world of goodwill, and trying to impart knowledge. So Charles Schwab, which is another respected, relatively investment banking insurance firm, uh, as not being too pushy on pushing different products and charging lower fees to the customers, as is Vanguard. Both of them are still telling big lie number two, and that their big assumption, they know that oil is running out. We are well past peak oil. It was probably in the year 2002. That's why we're going to non-conventional, non-sweet oil. Sweet oil, it has a high carbon content and a low sulfur content. That is what is quoted on the business news, but most oil is not sweet crude. It's of a lower quality. And every year, the quality of oil that has to be refined declines. And we're well past global peak oil, and conventional oil every year produced has been declining. And then they've had to go non-conventional, which is offshore. And in my other videos, and it's okay that I've said this over 10 times in other videos, the energy return on energy investment has to be above 3. And once it gets below 3, then it's a negative energy sink. Photovoltaic, in actual practice on large scale in a sunny country like Spain, was only 2.5, which means it was an energy sink when scaled up. Because the maintenance and cost, if you do a full life cycle analysis of where you have thousands of voltaic panels out there, the construction, maintenance, disassembly, recycling, the whole life cycle, you actually put more into the whole process of getting that electricity, more energy in than you were pulled out of energy out. And you get the ethanol, which is a huge mistake that the United States is doing by requiring huge amounts of farmland, have its soil degraded and ruined by growing crops that are turned into alcohol, which is lower performing. It makes your engine run hotter, and causes the engines of cars to last much less. So instead of getting 300,000 or 400,000 miles on your car, you might only get 200,000 miles on your car because you've been running ethanol. A car engine should be able to get 1,000,000 miles on it with good maintenance. You're going to have to change a lot of belts and a lot of filters and gaskets and things, but the basic components, while they're all going to be changed, the engine, you don't need to replace the entire engine, just a small component at a time, like the starter. So the big lie is that we are not in a decline. The global economy has been in decline since 1972 of the last century. That is when per capita caloric consumption, energy ingested in the form of food, as a slice of bread, a little bowl of rice, a chunk of chicken that's been fried in a wok, that amount of calories ingested has been in decline per person on the globe since 1972. If you look at kilowatt hours used, British thermal units used, or joules, there's many different ways to measure energy. Per capita globally has been in decline since 1972. So they are putting out the lie that everything is okay, that the way life was in the 1950s and 60s, where they were still finding large amounts of oil. We'll do another video I've called Big Lie number 3. That's all I have. I hope you have a blessed day, and hope to hear some comments and give me some thumbs up. Bye-bye.